Hey, welcome to Feisty Chess. Let's play a 10-5 game against Jim West. We've been paired with him as white on leechess.org. Haven't played a Vienna game in a while. Let's go for his knight c3. Okay, d6. d6 is somewhat of a passive approach. We'll go for our usual Vienna system. Bishop comes to c4. Let's just play d3. If he goes for knight a5, we'll just let him take the time to grab that bishop pair, and we'll play f4. All right. There's knight e2 and knight f3 here. My gut tells me knight f3. Of course, knight d4 is the critical line in each of those. I'm trying to remember this. Yeah, I'm going for knight f3, and I'll play bishop e3. I don't have the idea of the Legal's mate here, because this knight gets in the way. So, okay, he's gonna give me time to play here. And after recapturing with the queen, if he goes knight d4, queen f2 is a nice place for the queen, guarding the c2 square and getting out of danger, and just not going back home. And she can't be bothered by a knight on g4 or e4, thanks to our pawn moves. Okay. Yeah, if white had gone for knight d4 earlier there, I think I would have played h3. For maybe bishop e3 and foregoing castling on the king side. All right. Is not the time for f5 after black has castled? I think that's a good bet here. I'm going to plan on bishop to e3. This f5 is going to serve as a nice wedge for an attack. Here's the plan, more or less. So it should be, the moves should come quickly for us, and our opponent might have some trouble finding the right responses. I don't know if bishop e3 is even the right approach here. A lot of times in the Vienna, the king just stays in the center, actually. Let's see, g4, d5, g5? No. I suppose we could play a3 here and just bury our bishop on a2. a4 might be even better. Yeah, let's go for a4. And here goes the bishop. Back to a2. If he wants to make exchanges on this diagonal, he's going to have to open this bishop's diagonal back up. If he wants to break down my pawn chain, that is. He does have bishop c5 now. Not if I recapture with the knight, though. Then things seem kind of loose. He can always just grab with his knight. Let's keep more pieces on the board. Bishop c5. Bishop c5 doesn't present any immediate threats. Okay. Does that move quite quickly? I can't go bishop d2 because of knight c2 check. Bishop e3 seems to make sense here. And I can think about castling on either side. Castling right now also makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm going to go for that. And he can break down my pawns, but I'm going to have the bishop pair, and things are going to open up for me. He doesn't have time to take immediately. Bishop takes, pawn takes. Now my pawn's no longer defended, but if he grabs, my pawn is on this knight, and now my queen is on this knight, and he can't save them both. Okay, now our dark square bishop has a lot more scope. Okay, I think this is the losing line I was talking about. How does he save both of these knights? Am I missing something? My queen covers this pawn on e3. It also covers that checking square. So queen e3, and maybe he's got knight. No, he doesn't even have knight takes f5. Oh, he's got a fork. He has this fork. But his knight isn't getting out of there, is it? What about, I can't go queen h4. Okay. He's probably going to take on c2. After which I need to take this knight, and he takes my rook. I've got the two bishops though, and especially if I can corral that knight, I should be sitting pretty. He's going for that. Oh, because there's a fork on e2. Oh, that is quite clever. Okay. Okay, bad news. But that c3 knight... Okay, I didn't see that fork. Well played by my opponent. Well met, Jim West. My bishop pair is going to have to compensate for quite a lot here. He could go with knight e2 check immediately, and I'm losing my bishop pair. No, my bishop covers e2. That's why I made that move, of course. All right. Now, is there anything wrong with queen takes e5? Guess he's getting active with a rook. Well, no. I'm on his second knight. He's going to have to do something about that. He can take here. Now that my bishop covers e2, I've got queen g3. But I think I like taking this pawn the best, opening things up for my bishops. Okay, and now I can get another piece kind of into the attack. Sort of. Actually, can I just play bishop b2 here? I think I can get away with that. Mate threat. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I think queen f6 was better for him. Now I've got to play this check. Let's just hit that knight. Yeah, ugly stuff. It's been a long day. Okay. Do I have any kind of compensation here? How about queen e2? Pick that knight up again. He's up 2 pawns. Queen e2, he's got knight moves to defend himself. Grab here, grab. It's not really leading anywhere. Good for me. Well, queen e2 looks at least kind of forcing. I suppose knight to e3 is good enough. Should have just got my rook to safety. Instead of toying around with that bishop b2 idea after f6, the bishop just hangs. I would have needed to play my rook to b1, actually. That was a mistake. Rook to c1 was a real mistake, instead of rook to b1, which would have defended the bishop. Probably knight d3 here. Maybe I should have taken that knight off with my bishop. Oh, he's going to simplify here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the piece back. Oh, he's got a fork. He has a fork. Jim is seeing one move ahead of me consistently. I am not on my sharpest game tonight. I've had a big day. Big enough day anyway. And didn't get to play until about, what is it, 9:30 now? So there's some nice excuses. Okay, maybe I can plant a bishop on e6. Make life difficult for Jim here. Let's just do that now. Let's just prop that up. Try to get our king involved. Our bishop does a nice job covering d3. Why not this? Just keep trying to prod at some weaknesses. Okay. Oh, that fails to rook d4, doesn't it? Oh, yeah. Yep. Let's go for a swindle here. If he starts pushing pawns, I might have rook here. And then, yeah. This is almost resignable. This is... I'll just try one last swindling idea here. If he goes for rook d4 check, he's good, but if he tries to push a pawn, I might have, yeah, I might have this. You can't take with the pawn is the point. He could even give back an exchange here easily and just be winning. But we're going to try to be feisty with it. Yeah, rook e1 does the trick, doesn't it? Yeah, that's the simplest way to do it. I'm going to resign. Good game, Jim. Too good for me tonight. All right, I almost hesitate to bring up the analysis board so the computer can tell me what kind of a great position I had before I lost. I don't think I got that much of an advantage out of the opening here. Come on now, don't do me like that. Scroll down, request that. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, it likes knight e2 better. Knight d4 here. F takes e5. D takes. Bishop f7, check. How is this not winning? Knight takes e5. Well, because there's a fork at the end. That's giving up two pieces for an exchange, I suppose. h5. Oh, he can't play the fork because I've got queen e6 mate. So h5. Now queen d1. But now he's got a queen check. I should be fine after this, right? It looks like I'm just up a couple pawns. Queen h3. Rook f1, huh? I would think knight e2 here. Queen g2, rook f1. Ooh, knight f3 check. Rook f2, queen g1. Oh yeah, we just repeat. That's what's best for both of us. Because anything else is going to lose the exchange back for me. Or lose the exchange. And I've got the two extra pawns, but apparently a draw is better for white than that situation. Yeah, I'm curious about the book here. I got to know my Vienna better than this, because I play it all the time. Knight f3 here? I suppose that makes sense, because we've kind of forced him into a Philidor, which doesn't look too good. We don't need to play the f4 idea at this point. He's already committed to d6 and knight to c6, and those don't go together too well if we just go for knight f3. I guess we're in some sort of a four knights, Italian four knights here. But he can go for knight a5 immediately. I can't. Is that good? Just misplaces the knight, doesn't it? Anyway, the opening isn't too sharp, and he declined an effort. He declined any ideas to make it sharp. So h3, I get the bishop pair. Queen f2 is right. Castles. Oh, it doesn't like f5. That's premature. I should castle first. Get rid of that fork threat. I suppose that makes sense. That's a little. I got a little too feisty with my Vienna. There's lots of Vienna players. What about bishop e3? What was that? It's only equal. A lot of Vienna players, some famous Vienna players, Weaver Adams, AJ Santasiere, who played the Vienna just like this. Never bothered to castle. Just get at you with those. You know, you castling was the mistake. We're going to get at you with those pawns and just break down your king side, and we're going to bring everything. We might just leave this rook over in the corner if we don't need it. So yeah, I maybe tried to play it a little bit too much that way. f5, it really doesn't like f5 because it gets this, because black gets this d5 break in eventually. Wow, it's got a huge advantage here. Bishop c5 was the move. And then I was thinking, I wasn't thinking g3. What on earth? What in God's name is the point of g3? This doesn't look too good because knight takes c2, queen takes c2, and he's won a pawn. My king looks terrible. Bishop c5. And castling is a disaster because simply a move like this. Well, no, I can block with the bishop. Knight takes e4. Knight takes e4. Knight e2 check. Of course, knight e2 check is there immediately. So castling is a disaster. Something like bishop b1. Oh, this is just terrible. This is just completely terrible. I should not have allowed any of this, that d5 break. I went wrong seriously with f5 because he's got c5, and then I need to, after here, I think I need to play bishop here immediately. Then d5 comes. And the problem is whenever I want to chop this knight, his pawn is going to hit my other knight. So that doesn't work either. Queen f2. Castles. This is the kind of stuff I should still know what I'm doing. Just castle myself. And white has an advantage. Still this idea of c6. Now we can get away with a4. How does that stop this plan? a4, d5, e takes d5, f takes e5. That tension allows us to hit black back here. And if he wants to take here, we're going to take there. Bishop takes f6. D takes c4. We've just nabbed a pawn, actually. Okay. So yeah, keeping the tension here, allowing that possibility of taking on e5 is key. I know there's a lot of lines in the Vienna that once black does castle, f5 is the move, but this is not one of them. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to stop that d5 break after c6. You let me off the hook here. He's got the extra pawn now. f6. Yeah, that's the moment for f6. That opens up his king side. Now bishop c4. That looks better than the game. Although I'm down a pawn, I've done something more important, which is make his king side really dangerous. These knights are too slow to come back. And I've got bishops pointed over there. So b5, a takes b5, c takes b5, and then just take on c3. Forget that pawn. Queen g3 check. King h8. Queen f2. Hitting that weakness. Can he defend like this? Oh, rook a6 hits it a third time. That's great. It's not a move I would have expected. But knight e6 blocks that. Now bishop a3. Yeah, I'd rather be white here, although I'm down a little material. This is the kind of thing you want to see. Okay. Castle. Castle early, castle often. Alright, disappointing game tonight. And from here, it's just plain lost, and I probably played on too long. Yeah. All right. Well played, Jim West. If we meet again, I hope I can provide a better challenge. Okay, folks. Stay feisty. Thanks for watching.